Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Marcus Lorette, and I will be presenting alongside Jake Warwa, Stephen Ferreira, Ryan Pelaho, and Ray Zhang Zhu. Today, as Team H, we will be presenting the case analysis on the pharmaceutical company EliLilly. We will begin by sharing a brief overview of what will be covered throughout our presentation. We will start by giving an overview of the firm EliLilly, then discuss the key problem they face. Stephen will then share in more detail an analysis of both their internal as well as external environments. From there, Jake will discuss the alternatives available to the organization, followed by an evaluation of each of these options. Rizhang will then share our recommendations based on the alternative that we agreed would be most effective for Lilly. Next, Ryan will provide a plan not only to implement the strategy, but also to mitigate any risks that might arise as a result of the decision. Finally, Ryan will also provide a summary of everything we learned from this case analysis. I will begin by briefly giving some context to who EliLilly is as an organization. The organization was founded in 1876 by Colonel Eli Lilly with only $1,400 and 4 employees. From there, it grew to become one of the biggest pharmaceutical companies in the United States from the years 1940 until 1985. Much of its success can be largely attributed to its philosophy based around scientific and managerial excellence. Lilly had dreams of being a significant global player, however their international involvement was limited to exports until the 1950s. They would increase their international presence by establishing affiliates overseas until the mid-1980s, when, under the leadership of Richard Wood, a separate division was created within the company known as Eli Lilly International Corporation. This allowed further global expansion, and by 1992, the company was distributing their products through 25 countries and selling them in more than 130. In that same year, 1992, Lilly was approached by Ranbaxy, the leading domestic pharmaceutical firm in India, about a business opportunity. Ranbaxy proposed a joint venture, which was an ideal way for Lilly to establish a foothold in the Indian market. Due to the many values shared between the two firms, Lilly had next to no problem accepting Ranbaxy's offer. The business relationship formed between Lilly and Ranbaxy was very beneficial at the time. Their common beliefs in high ethical standards, technology and development, as well as the future of patented products in India were the main factors that influenced the partnership. Ranbaxy was pleased to uphold the ethics valued by Lilly through continuing to invest heavily in training programs for staff, as well as promoting staff from within the organization. The partnership also allowed Lilly to have their products sold in India without having to worry about the patent protections that were non-existent at the time. However, throughout the 10 years of partnership, many changes have taken place, both internally and externally. Lilly is now faced with a crossroad where a decision must be made whether or not continuing the joint venture is in the organization's best interest.
Through analyzation of the internal environment, we have chosen to demonstrate through a value chain. This will clearly demonstrate the actions needed to achieve competitive advantage by delivering value to customers. The support activities consist of firm infrastructure, where Eli Lilly, which was one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the US from 1940 until 1985, had the desire to expand globally. Ranbaxy owned major operations and infrastructure in India, where both companies could benefit from each other to create ELR. HR management consisted of core value that translated through the joint venture. These included 5 core aspects: people, attitude, team, integrity, and excellence. Their main priority was to build people, not medicines, with emphasis on individual growth to eventually serve their customers better. The next support activity is technology development. ELR had great intentions at the beginning of the joint venture due to their increased high ethical standards and in tech and innovation. Some challenges included escalating R&D costs and new product approval times. The final support activity is procurement. Although Ranbaxy owned a lot of the procurement institutions and distribution channels, the cash flow and direction of funds for Eli Lilly to use Ranbaxy's assets became a challenge. Some of these challenges caused high turnover rate within the joint venture. The primary activities are directly influenced with the delivery of product. Ranbaxy provides manufacturing and logistics support for the joint venture. A wide variety of the mass drug manufacturing and distribution worldwide was possible due to both organizations. Outbound logistics move the finished goods delivered straight to the customers. Marketing sales activities consisted of utilizing the markets of both EliLilly in US and Indian market for Ranbaxy. And the joint venture provided high-class drugs to many middle class, representing the future of India. Some resistance was due to the lack of patent protection and property rights for EliLilly. Through external environmental analysis, our team decided to utilize the PESTEL analysis. This includes political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal aspects. Political analysis consists of increasing government agencies in the U.S., such as Medicare, that were gaining influence in the buying processes. The Committee of Proprietary Medical Products posed many challenges for the joint venture. This includes the revision of the total stipulation of drug prices in 1987. The Indian government also posed duties on imports and other regulatory issues. Through our economic analysis, our group sought rapid changes in the environment through the progression of the joint venture. The new Indian government also granted 100% of foreign direct investment into the industry, overall increasing the economy and pharmaceutical potential. They also experienced a major increase in middle class. The social analysis can be described through the industry's rapid growth that was aided by increasing worldwide incomes and a universal demand for better healthcare. Through technology and innovations of products, the joint venture had acquired the resources to be able to continue to produce and innovate. Although there existed many challenges with patents allowing firms to price their product appropriately in order for future research funds. In 1995, EliLilly was the sixth largest supplier in the US, but due to an off-patent in 2001, they had to reevaluate other products. Many environmental factors took place in the joint venture. Through government regulations and the demand for great healthcare, it posed challenges when trying to overexpand and push the cash flow limits of both organizations. Some of the great aspects of the joint venture was the ethical standards that they both had. Finally, the legal portion of the analysis revolved around the World Trade Organization and the significant tariffs that were placed by the new Indian government. This increased intense price competition and would eventually see more mergers and alliances in the future.
After identifying the problem of the case and analyzing both the internal and external environment of EliLilly, our group has identified 3 alternatives for EliLilly to consider regarding the final decision for the ELR joint venture and Lilly's future in India. The alternatives include renegotiating the joint venture with Ranbaxy, next creating a new joint venture with another firm in India, or EliLilly establishing a wholly owned subsidiary in India. In the next slides, I will evaluate each alternative based on the SAFE criteria for the purpose of generating the final recommendation for EliLilly's future in India. For the suitability of alternatives, I will assess which proposed alternatives address the key opportunities and threats that EliLilly faces. By renegotiating the current joint venture with Ranbaxy, Lilly can continue its successful relationship with the company. However, the suitability of this JV is negatively impacted by the threat of Ranbaxy's new leadership. Second, the opportunities that come with creating a new joint venture with another Indian firm include having a strategic partner to share risks, resources, and capabilities with. Lilly could form a joint venture that is similar to ELR in that the Indian firm provides help in manufacturing and distribution while helping with supplies. And finally, by creating a wholly owned subsidiary, Lilly can capitalize on the opportunities of clinical testing, which would enable the company to move faster in developing products, as well as shape opinions with leaders in the medical field around the world, which would help with EliLilly's marketing. However, the competition in India must be recognized as an obstacle. The acceptability of The acceptability of alternatives is concerned with whether the expected performance outcomes of the alternatives meet the expectation of stakeholders. Therefore, regarding Alternative 1, renegotiating the current joint venture allows for Lilly to retain access to manufacturing and distribution support for their drugs, which aligns with their current organizational objectives. However, due to Ranbaxy's current cash flow issues and non-commitment to the joint venture, this increases the risks of this alternative. Because of their cash flow issues, Ranbaxy is expected to divest from the joint venture and invest their part in their growing portfolio of generics businesses in international markets. By having a strategic partner to share risks, resources, and capabilities, Lilly can continue its strategy of expanding in India. And with India starting to recognize patent protection in 2005, many Indian firms offered to buy Ranbaxy's share. Although several firms offered to buy Ranbaxy's share, Lilly still faces a problem in finding a suitable partner that has the similar organizational objectives and values. Next, if Lilly was to form a wholly owned subsidiary, Lilly can make the decisions that are in the best interest of the company's vision and objectives, which can positively impact the performance in Indian market. However, expected performance can be hindered by the high level investment required, competition, and uncertainty of success without a strategic partner. The feasibility of each alternative focuses on two key questions. One, do the resources and capabilities currently exist? And if not, can they be obtained? By renegotiating the current joint venture, Lilly can utilize the existing manufacturing and logistics support that are offered by Ranbaxy and continue expanding their foothold in India and taking advantage of opportunities presented in India, such as clinical testing, patent protection, and high population of the middle class. However, this alternative only provides a temporary fix, as Ranbaxy's lack of commitment could jeopardize the future of the joint venture. However, creating a new joint venture could potentially provide Lilly access to manufacturing and logistical support that were previously offered by Ranbaxy. Although it is crucial to understand that there will be a time delay in finding a suitable partner, and the negotiations could cause uncertainty of Lilly's future in India. Finally, over the last 10 years, with the EliLilly joint venture, Lilly has established a network in India and knowledge of the market. Lilly can utilize this knowledge by setting up a wholly owned subsidiary to capitalize on their knowledge and continue their success in India. Although Lilly has to consider their resources such as capital to invest in manufacturing, distribution, marketing, and selling projects without a strategic partner. However, based on Lilly's financial success in India and globally, our group believes that they have the resources and capabilities to set up a wholly owned subsidiary.
So based on the safe analyst score, our group believes that alternative 3 is what EliLilly should apply. This option takes advantage of the market opportunities of the rising Indian market. Taking over the whole control and retain revenue is a huge benefit for EliLilly in long term. EliLilly can operate the company as an international business and will be responsible for supplying Asia, East Europe, and Russia market, which fits company's international expansion strategy. By wholly owned subsidiary, EliLilly can also take advantage of the existing organization without setting up for new resources, hiring new employees, and corporation. Based on EliLilly's financial statement, they have enough revenue to afford a $70 million buyout, and with the market potential and the future international strategies, EliLilly should recover the cost of this investment within 3 years. Now let's move on to the reasons why the other two alternatives are not our favorite. So for alternative 1, our group believes that it was only a temporary solution that does not fix the challenges EliLilly was facing. And because both companies are sharing different goals right now and now looking for departures, if EliLilly wished to continue the joint venture with Ranbaxy, the company would facing potentially high compromise and with company's strategies and goals, this is the least likely to be accepted by EliLilly. For alternative 2, it was our first choice for EliLilly if they could find the ideal replacement for Ranbaxy. Not only this alternative can mitigate financial, political, and market risk, it is easy to adapt, brings the potential new technologies and chances for EliLilly to balance the weakness and opportunities. However, we believe that it is extremely hard for them to find a replacement. Even if they do, it would take a long time to negotiate, make sure the joint venture is heading to the same direction, so we have to forfeit. For the implementation, on August 2001, EliLilly should negotiate a fair price with Ranbaxy that is sensible and fair for both sides. We expect the negotiation process to last under 3 months due to both parties' mutual understanding of departing and accommodating nature of both companies' top executives. Next step is at the beginning of 2002, the transfer process of Ranbaxy's manufacturing equipment, employees, and logistics support should begin. The process should last around 4 months. From here, EliLilly is running as an independent, wholly owned subsidiary. In the middle of the same year, the company will begin utilizing the low-cost base of Ranbaxy to increase profitability, followed by continuing introducing Eli drugs into Indian market and continuing the developing process in India. At the same time, focus on entering Asia, Eastern Europe, and Russian market.
Like all projects, there are some risks that could, upon occurring, impact greatly a company's operations and finances. Issues in integration and transferring assets may be an operational risk. As Ranbaxy was vital to supporting EliLilly's entry into India, issues in asset transfer may impact the operations. To mitigate this, a working relationship should be maintained until the end of the joint venture, and there should be plans prepared to shift manufacturing and logistics support to other companies through outsourcing to minimize the costs of setting up support using the resources of EliLilly. Financial risk involved is the considerable amount of cash required to end the joint venture and set up the subsidiary. To minimize the negative impact of excess costs, non-essential investments, and operating expenditures should be limited until normal operations can continue. There is a small but costly possibility that Ranbaxy denies EliLilly permission to set up a wholly owned subsidiary before the joint venture is dissolved. A no objection letter is required from Ranbaxy according to Indian regulations on foreign direct investment. To ensure this strategic risk does not occur, a large sum as goodwill should be offered in exchange for the previous cordial relationship. There are also risks involving competitors while the transition process is ongoing. Growth of large generic producers, entrance of more large international organizations into India, and increasing price competition pose a threat while EliLilly is undergoing a significant strategic shift in operational changes. EliLilly should focus on taking advantage of more liberal patent policies in India by patenting their new products aggressively. They should also focus on setting themselves as a high-quality foreign producer that Indians can trust and maintain the market niche they established. From this case study, we learned how a strategic partnership requires both companies to have common goals and objectives. The joint venture between EliLilly and Ranbaxy was mutually profitable, but after some time each company had developed different visions for the future. The relationship was very positive without strife, but EliLilly needed to make a significant change in strategy to accommodate each company's future goals. We have learned in this case study that to solve the problem presented, we need to undergo a systematic method to understand the case in full and to ensure we understand the problem present. There needs to be a coherent plan presented to fulfill the requirements and show full knowledge of the issues of the case. Finally, we observed that each teammate should agree to consensus on both
The method to study the case and the mutual agreement on how to present the case is very important to avoid interpersonal issues. We hope you enjoyed our presentation. We will now take your questions.